Okay, we're going to watch Hannah's backstroke underwater as we go into her stroke here. Going to see real quick on that right hand, you can see that it's a little flat with that palm where your palm is facing up. Okay, we want to make sure when our hand is entering that we always have that pinky first, so when you're coming out it's thumbs out, when you're going in it's pinky in. Don't go quite so flat. When you go flat you're not catching the very first part of that stroke. You start to see here where you start to roll that shoulder a little bit more, you start to drop that elbow. That's good. Hand a little bit too high in that water. If you get your hand a little bit more here in this position here, you're gonna be able to pull a little bit better through that water because your hand's a little bit more underwater. There you can kind of see with that right hand, okay, a little bit more elbow, that hand's underwater. So just don't let it be quite so shallow right in the very beginning. We go in here with our left hand entry. That's a good job of being a little bit more pinky entry. Make sure you get that shoulder roll a little bit better, a little bit earlier, because right here you can see where you're on your side really, really well. That's good strength. That's good form. Just make sure you get that shoulder roll down a little bit earlier, and it's going to be perfect. But that looks great on your left side. Really nice job, Hannah. See a good, long, strong arm right here. Good catch of that water right there. That looks fantastic. I like where you're finishing that backstroke too. You're not going too low. You're really right at your hip. And you're able to get that hand up a little bit better. You can see this hand entered a little bit better with that pinky. All right, but let's make sure you get your other hand, the opposite hand, your left hand up just a little bit quicker. When your right hand is entering, you want that left hand exiting a little bit closer together. Okay, but that looks great. That looks really good. And again, I really like where you're finishing your backstroke. Head position is nice and strong. And that's a good pull. A little shallow, but that's a good strong pull. Again, great pinky entry. You catch some really good water. And, you know, kind of like how your fingers are a little bit apart, maybe a little wide here in the middle two fingers. But, you know, by opening up your hand a little more like that, you're really able to catch a lot more water. It used to be that if your fingers were close, we used to think that if your fingers were close together, you're pulling better water. We started learning that if you have a little bit opening between those fingers, you actually make that paddle in your hand even better. So really good job there. Like where your head position is. Your hips are a little low in that water sometimes. You kind of bending your knee a little bit too high. You can see right here, it's a little bit above that water, so a little bit lower there. Make sure we can keep those legs a little bit straighter, a little bit stronger. And a little bit more from that bottom part of those feet. All right, because you really want to make sure you have good white water all the way through. Again, you can see right here where you're getting ready to get that pull. You're in a good body position there. You're in a really good job of rolling your shoulders right there. So if we can get that shoulder roll just a little bit earlier, I mean, it's going to be right where we need to be, Hannah. That looks so good. Man, that's good strength. And again, you can see really, really well here where that hand is finishing, okay? That's great. Here's your stroke starting, so let's get it up a little bit higher, a little bit quicker, okay? But really, all in all, I'll take where we are. It's just a matter of moving your hand a little faster. That's it. Also, if you can see right here, this position looks good, but then all of a sudden you start to lower your hips a little bit. I think if you can get your hips up a little bit higher, it's going to keep your feet a little bit higher in that water, and you won't have to get quite so much of a bend. As we go into our turn here, you can see that our legs are positioned really well, your head's positioned really well. Your hands are still a little bit too high in that water. I'd like to see those hands more here, getting ready to get that streamline, not quite so high in that water. Little thing, I think if you work at it, when you're in this position right here, so when your hands are at your hips, if you turn those palms down and try to throw water towards your face, it's going to be a lot better. All right, so if you can keep your hands a little bit closer to your head as you're doing that somersault, we're going to be happy. Kind of see they're getting right to where they need to be there now, and that's good. Streamline there, looks great. Good position right here. We like how you're going down a little bit. Man, really, close those fingers up a little bit better. That streamline's perfect. 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Okay, first off, number 1, good dolphin kicks. 5 dolphin kicks. We want 6, but we're happy with 5. But the other thing I really like, and you're the first person I've seen this do really well, you're doing a good job of starting that first stroke. You can see you're probably about 6 to 8 inches still underwater there, right? But your first stroke has just started, and I think, and we're going to see here real soon, I think you're going to hit that water almost perfectly. Be careful. You're kind of looking to the side. Make sure you're looking straight up. I think sometimes when we look to the side, it's more we're trying to make sure that we don't let water go into the nose. If you have a good breath and you're kind of just slowly expelling, that water won't go in your nose at all. You can see that you've got bubbles coming out your nose right here, so you're really good. Just keep that head a little more straight. As we're breaking the surface right here, heads up, your hand is a little bit late, okay, but you're right on where you need to be with the breakout. Pay attention here, that hand was a little bit high, all right? So just get that hand a little bit lower. But really, I mean, you're right where you need to be in the breakout. Maybe just a shade quicker with that hand, but that's it, Hannah. Really, that looked good. You can see how much air you had with that hand with being so shallow on that left side. And so that's one of the reasons why you do want to make sure you're kind of pulling a little bit better, a little bit deeper underwater. Trying to wind you all the way up here. See all those bubbles coming off your hand on that left side? And it's right because right here, your fingers break that surface. Okay, so your fingers are breaking that surface. That's why you get all that air. Try to make sure those hands stay a little bit deeper underwater. Then you're perfect. And you can also see that's a little bit deeper on your right side than you were on your left side. So your left side's a little bit stronger, a little bit better. That right side, got to make sure we still have that little shallow finish, not quite so deep, okay? Good job, Hannah. Good kick, nice steady legs. That looked great. Excellent. Thank you so much.